working on this week, and yeah, have some fun with it. Um, yeah, it's been really cool building this stuff out. Um, I think I just fucked up my layout here a little bit because I've had to take that screenshot, but yeah, very happy with what I've done with this rig setup, and it's actually quite simple, similar to what I had at the start before I started screwing around with it. Um, Yeah, really simple actually, all things considered. There's no blend shapes. I was planning on putting blend shapes in, and I probably will around the cheeks for these controls here as sort of like helper shapes, like puffs, cheek puffs, that sort of stuff. But the mouth and stuff is it's still all bendy bones. Because I was doing the hard yards, making all the blend shapes, putting them together, and then I thought, hold on, let me just check something out with the rig setup that I had already. And straight away, like, it just looked better. I just can't get away from I can't get away from using joints to control the face. It's just so much easier. Um, I don't know. It's just so much better. But the real magic on how this thing works is down to um, the helper joint. And welcome, by the way, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining. And another thing for you guys out there who may be able to help me suggest alternatives is that I'm trying to move away from Streamlabs. I'm trying to move away from Streamlabs. And one of the big things I haven't got at the moment on my stream is chat alerts. So alerts for like subs and super chats and stuff like that. I don't know if anyone when I get them. I don't know if I get them. So if anyone has any suggestions on how to add those sort of alerts through OBS without Streamlabs, that'd be great. Yeah, I am using OBS. So I'm using Restream for the chat, basically just the chat overlay. But I need to figure out how to do the alerts, and I don't know how to do that yet. If you have any suggestions, let me know. That'd be awesome. But yeah, let's just get this up and running so I can see what I'm doing properly. Properties. There we go. Back to normal. And yeah, so if you look at, let's just do a quick breakdown of how this rig works under the hood. And the real thing that makes this thing magic, in my opinion, is the way that these controls operate under the hood. Now, normally, in order to get this working, I talked about this in my last stream, normally to get this working, to get it to sort of make the controls follow the contours of the mouth, you need to build a lot of helper joints or a lot of helper bones that are like basically in line with the jaw, and then you have constraints to sort of reduce the amount of rotations they have, stuff like that. But with this method, and I don't think anyone's done this, I haven't seen this done in Blender at least. This is a Maya-centric sort of rig, I think. This comes from a sort of Maya-like background, is that you build out a secondary shape, and then you essentially pin these controls to that secondary shape through vertex parenting or something like that. The chain looks a bit odd. I'm not sure what you mean, but the chin. Yeah. But when I render it, it's flat. Again, it's one of those things where depending on what style you're going for, you can kind of get away with the chin being deformed in a certain way. Or I just build some corrective shape keys. But you get some nice stretch out of that chin, regardless. I get a much more reliable rotation. It just looks more natural. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, the cool thing about the way that this set is set up is through these mouth guide shapes. And the reason why these controls are able to conform to the face, to all these ones around the chin and around the cheeks and around the lips, is because of these mouth guide shapes. And these mouth guides are just basically the same loops of the mouth, and they don't have to be perfectly aligned either. They don't even have to be perfectly aligned to the setup. As long as they conform to the general deformation of the face, it should work fine. Hey, how you doing? And thank you, innovative. I wouldn't call this innovative. I would just say it's trial and error. Trial and error. That's and I came across this idea just by like basically a shower thought, really. I was just thinking, or just driving down the road. I'm like, wait a minute, let me just try this out. And it works. This wouldn't work in 2.7. This would not have worked in 2.7 because you'd get massive cyclic errors. But the way it works is that this loop here, this shape here, is skinned to the same rig, but to different joints. These are like basically the jaw and the upper lip controls this thing with this two vertex groups, upper lip, lower lip, and that's it. And I have two deformation joints parented to the head, and that gives me the deformation I need for this mouth piece here. And then you can see the complexity now. Let's go back into the technical part of it. These controls here are a child of mechanism joints. Where are they? And these mechanism joints are constrained to nulls, empties. And these empties are vertex children. They've been parented to the that mouth shape, and they deform, or they conform rather, not deform, conform to that mouth shape. And because the rotational data can be inherited to that empty, it can also be inherited from there to the bones. That's why this works. And you don't need any helper bones apart from just these bones here to get the controls to conform to your main rig. Pretty crazy. And it works so well. It works so well. And the great thing is, like, none of these joints actually actively deform the lips of the mesh. It's these bones here. It's only these bones here that are actually deforming the lips. These bendy bones. And then the rest are just constraints. That's how it works, basically. But the cool thing is, you still get like really powerful like properties, basically, which is really cool. You can close the mouth. This is basically that mouth close. That mouth close is basically exactly the same as how I've done it in my tutorials, but I've added a bit more stuff to it. But you can get some nice chewing animation, which is super cool. Was able to add. Now I'm able to add parents to the upper lip, so I can move the upper lip and the lower lip independently. So if I want to get some more expression, I can do that. And then this control controls the whole mouth. Oh, okay, that's not working. Interesting. It was working. Not sure why it's not working now. Probably because I screwed with the parent-child relationship here. These should be, let's have a look at the relationship there. So you can see I'm still building this out. This is why I haven't offered this stuff. And also thank you, by the way, for commenting and liking the videos and stuff like that. It's been awesome. But you can see, even now, I'm still trying to figure out everything to make sure it's all working well as planned. Now these controls, mouth button off, open, they should have been working. I'm not sure how I got that to break. Oh, the constraints are missing. That's why. Trying to figure out why they're breaking. So you can see, yeah, I'm just still trying to figure out like certain things that I've done. I'm still playing with the ideas of things. So you can see there's a lot of control. There's still a lot of organizational stuff that I have to worry about when building this stuff out. But yeah, this is not broken. It's just that I didn't break the rig. It's just that I was playing with the parent-child relationships yesterday because last night I was trying to get the lips to conform to some controls. So it should be a pretty easy fix. So I was trying to get these controls to basically be manipulated by scale. So now I can scale along with the lips here. So you get a much more consistent thickness in the lips. So I want it to be a master controller basically for the bottom lips. So the real thing to do now is to, I think I understand what I've done wrong, is that I've fucked up these shouldn't be children's on the upper lip. MCH lip bottom master. Yeah, I think I know what I did wrong. So you can see here that this control here, yeah, I know what I did wrong. Basically this control and this control, you can see it's going to be controlled. They're going to be controlled fine by that master control. So if I move it up, those two are what should have been children of that. So you can see there's the controls there. That's all good. That's all working. Yep. I get that now. So basically this should be a child of this. Hopefully it works. There it goes. That's working now. And this should be a child of this. And now that's working as planned. And that should, yep, work out. And if I now reset that rig on all the scale attributes, now I can control the mouth properly. So yeah, still trial and error. That's basically an experimental mindset. I thought I'd go through this just for fun because yeah, the last thing I want to do to this thing is, and I'll probably do this off camera, is that I'm gonna add some shape keys for like puffing here, like corrective shapes for puffs and stuff like that, to help me control that. But apart from that, that's it really. That's it. These controls are basically useless. They don't do anything. Oh, this one does. Oh shit. That's cool. All right, that's cool. Nice little caveat there. Deform. Let's turn that off. That's a nice little accident. I didn't know that was going to work. Did you make changes to her model shader, or was it stylized, or was it for a stylized section? I have to answer that question. I think I just removed the textures actually. Basically remove the textures for now because I basically remodeled her entire face. So originally her eyes were separate to the head, and I was going for like a sort of paper cutout effect, but I found that there was limitations with that were really frustrating me. So I decided to go back to a traditional face design and just try and make it look stylized. That was a real challenge actually. So this is the same edge loop parameters as what you'd expect from my tutorials, with a slight change in just the way that the loops go around under the nose, because there is no nose. But yeah, it is a different model altogether. I'll put it that way. What do the yeah, let's just move the head. So sorry, I gotta re-skin this a little bit for the chin. I really don't want to change the eyes. Let me just see what I can do first before I do an expression change. And again, this is because I'm just rebuilding the rebuilding out the eyes. So let's just go ahead and close off all those. Lock off those before I screw with them. Eyes. So all these eye control, all these eye deformations, I don't want them to be screwed up with because they work so well at the moment. And if I need a reskin, the last thing I want to do is screw with them. There's a lot of eye joints, basically. I think that will do. And I think everything else is good to go. Yep. I can probably lock off everything except the jaw, but yeah, let's just give this a go first. Save this. There we go, that should be fine. Yeah. So let's just make sure this is working okay. Ah, fucked it. I knew I'd screw it up somehow. Undo those weights. I know what to do. Rather than doing that, I'm just going to grab these joints here. Grab these joints. Turn on weight paint mode. With those selected, weights assigned from bones. There we go. And it's still screwing up. That's okay. Let's just grab this joint here then and just fill it in. There we go. That solves the problem. That's all it was. Little things that do happen up sometimes. So to answer your question about the expressions, Varson, yeah, it works really well. It's awesome. You do obviously have to change the lighting sometimes to make it work properly, 100%. But yeah, you can get lots of control out of that expressions. So let me just hide all the other complicated stuff. And yeah, you can get like plenty of cool expressions. I'm very happy with it. So, you know, if I wanted to make her look suspicious, I can. And you can also, that's like the nice thing about this setup as well, because with the toon shader, you can actually get some really stylized expressions without worrying about destroying the look of it. It still looks good when it's shaded. So that's really cool. Interesting. Why aren't you moving? Oh, wrong controller. That's why. Yeah, so you can get some really cool stuff. Yeah, my biggest inspiration, I guess you can say, from this is like stuff from the 90s. So Dexter's Lab. My biggest thing that I wanted to do with the eyes is, and I had this in the original rig as well, is get the ability to create like changes in shape of the eyes. So basically, using Spline IK, I was able to get that sort of Dexter's Lab sort of ability to change the eye shape. That's really important for me. That's one of the biggest things I've wanted to do since I designed this character years ago. I wanted to be able to change the expression of her eyes to all kinds of crazy stylized effects. And I'm so happy I was able to figure it out in the end. But basically, it allows you to have like really rounded eyes, sharp eyes, that sort of stuff. And it's just really fun little setup. So I do plan on actually building out a demo rig without her face. So you guys can download it and try it out for yourselves. It won't be Evie herself, but it will be a character that I'll design for my next series. So a lot of people asking whether or not I'm going to be doing a tutorial I'm building this rig? The answer is probably no, not for now at least. But I will be doing, because I really want to get into an animation. I want to do an animation tutorial series. So I'd rather do that than do a full rig breakdown of this. But I might do a simple breakdown of how it works. How long did it take? I don't know. It's hard to say because I keep tweaking it. I've been working on this rig for like a year, on and off, like just changing things, changing the designs, all that sort of stuff. So I'm very happy with it at the moment. But yeah. Also, the nose looks really great when I rotate it, so I get that really nice stylized effect, which is awesome. I really love that. But yeah, let's move on. Because what I want to try and do is bring this rig into one of my previous scenes, and a lot has changed in particularly with the layout of the legs. So I want to see how well it does at transferring some animation. The animation controls are all identical, so the big thing I want to know is whether or not the animation I made all last year will transfer to this rig. Yeah, it'll be done. It'll be done. It's basically almost done at this point. Yeah, but the big thing now is testing to see whether the animation I've made in the past will transfer successfully to this rig. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this back into my project. So save as. And let's bring it into my F drive. And you can see how many bloody variations I've done of this as well. It's insane. Anyway, characters. I won't be adding this to an asset library yet because Evie has so many rigs in her folder that Blender would just pick them all up and I would have no idea which one's which. So let's call this Evie. I'm gonna bite the bullet and call this Evie. Version 42. Oh god. This is how many versions I've made, and this is not including face versions as well, so save as. Alright. The big thing here is making sure that all the controls, all that the right stuff is in the folders. So I've got my rig here. Shape keys I can keep for later. Her hair's there, ponytail's there. Eevee face, Geo. Now, what I'll probably need to do is make a new collection for this. Not inside there. Undo that. New collection here. Call this master. I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, exactly right. You're always going to be willing to change things if you have to. I mean, like, I'm not doing this for any particular production apart from my own, so I'm able to be organic with the way I build out my setup. So, you know, I can just chop and change as I will. The problem is that you have scope creep, obviously, so I start to rebuild things. So let's make a new group and call this master group. Eevee master. The reason I'm doing this is because it seems that when you do library overrides in Blender 3.0, it's always a good idea to have all the important stuff in their proper points. So I'm going to put that into, let's see, making sure that everything's there. Rig, curves, and guides. So you can see I've got a lot of curves here for my rig. And I've got a lot of empties as well. Again, this is quite a unique rig setup for Blender. Curves and guides. Put it in there. Making sure everything's in there. Rig and Geo for now can go into Eevee Master. Shape keys I can leave out for now because I'm not using them. And I think that should do the job. Clothing, face, body. widgets can actually go into there as well, into the rig folder. What else is there? Curves and guides, widgets. That's all good. Things are turned off. That's all good. So you gotta make sure. Yeah, exactly. And hello, Jiraj. Thank you very much for joining. I think that's everything I need. EV Master. Yep, got my old folder there. That's fine. All right, let's just save that out. I think it should be safe to try out now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open up a scene, and you're gonna see what happens when I open it up. Something annoying happens in Blender 3.0. It will basically break the scene anyway, because Blender has done away with proxies, and it's now been replaced with library overrides, 100%. So it tries to convert it, tries to convert the scene, and it doesn't always work out. So let's open up, run, let's see, scene 1. Where's scene 1? Shot 1. I need to open up the most recent one. Run 03, 01, shot 3. Shows you how long it's been since I've opened up these files as well. Do you use bone constraints in your rig? Oh, I use them all the time. You got to use bone constraints. You can't just use drivers. That would be insanely difficult. You can get away with using drivers 100%, but if you need to change things on the fly, it's so much harder. So yeah, definitely not. I always use, there's tons of constraints in this rig. Oh yeah, like the process, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do a full process video on this rig setup. It'd just to be too much. Part of my videos are designed to give you the platform to be able to design stuff on your own afterwards. I can't give every little thing. It's a bit hard, it's a bit too difficult to do that. Once you get to a certain skill level, you should get to a point where you should be able to sort of work things out, or start to try and work things out for your own. Cool. Let's see. I think this is the right scene. I can't believe I forgot. All right, let's just give it a go. Run 03. I think that might actually, let's just open it up. So you can see here that the rig's basically broken there. Let's try another one. Oct 2020. I can't believe it's been that long. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my scenes again. This might be the one. So that's definitely not the scene. I know I did it properly. I know I've got a proper version of it. Shit. So you can see here that the rig is basically broken there. Her face is broken because of the constraints. And also the camera's out of whack too. Oh, this is different. Oh, okay, I get what I'm doing now. Yep. Yes, you can. You can constrain. You can constrain it. 105. That looks more accurate to my shot. Let's turn off the rain. That's what I'm looking for. This is the scene I want. So when I upgraded the 3.0, the girl's rig basically broke in terms of referencing her in. So that's broken. That's fine though. But the big thing I want to see is whether or not, if I bring in my new rig, will this animation transfer across? That's the big thing here. That's my biggest issue. I'm just making sure that I have, let's just open a scene first and make sure that, let's just go by name. This is scene 101, run 05. Okay, this is the most recent one. All right, cool. So let's turn off the baby to begin with. So let's just turn that off because I don't need it right now. And you can see here, there's Evie there. Let's turn on her rig. Her rig is visible here. Right? And if I go to my action editor, in my dope sheet, action editor, you'll see that she has an action. Let's call this Evie run. So I know exactly what the hell I'm doing. That's the animation that I want to retransfer over to a new rig. All right. Let's make a new collection. I'm going to call this Evie new. Just temporarily, I'll call it Evie new. Yeah, this one's working fine from the library. The girls one doesn't work from the library. There's a reason why that happens, but it's down to the way that the collections are grouped. But basically, I just need to rework this one. All right. The wolf is fine because that's appended in because I need to do physics. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's turn off everything, puddles as well, because that takes a massive hit on the graphics. That's running okay now. And we can probably simplify the scene as well. That's already been simplified. That's okay. Turn off the wolf as well, because we don't need the wolf. And we just need that scene just for now to see exactly what's going on. All right. We've got my collection here. What I need to do now is save that. I'm going to reset my view. There's the center point for the world. And let's go ahead and link the new rig. So characters, Evie, and she is number 42. There's the 42 blend collection, and we're going to link in Evie Master. Boom. There's Evie Master. There's her new rig. The scales are still all good. Yeah, the libraries are way better. They are way better. So what I need to do now is I need to make a library override. So I'm just going to click on the object, relations, make a library override. Boom. And we should have the rig ready to edit. And there's the new rig. And the new rig, for the most part, has the exact same controls as the old rig. Okay, so now what I predict is that for the most part, the animation should work. What won't work is the alignment of the feet because I widened out the feet. And some of the arms stuff will be a little bit out of whack as well. But let's give it a go. So now, all I got to do now is look for Evie run. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, the main thing that it's not working is this. Actually, looks really good. Fuck. You can see the legs are wider now. They are wider now. But if I play that back, legs are a bit fucked. But what I really like, and for some reason I don't know why, and I think it's down to the grease pencil or the changes in the face rig, it runs way better. It runs way better than the old one. So I've done some optimizations essentially to this this rig to make it more easy to use, I guess would be the best way. So Evie new, look at the frames per second, 25, running it basically running at real time with simplification turned on. And if I go to Wolf EV plus baby, running at 16 FPS. How crazy is that? So there's some optimizations basically that makes me able to really fix that up. Now, there's one thing I forgot to do, it looks like, and that was in this rig, her belt hasn't been skinned. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, she hasn't got a skinned belt. So I can go into my original rig now and fix that up. Her legs are so funny, but that will be an easy fix as well. Let's save this out as a new version. And if I go back now to my rig setup, 42, I need to transfer some weights, obviously. So I'm going to go data transfer. I should be able to do it fine with just the pants. Data transfer, select the pants, select the vertex data, convert the vertex groups, generate those layers. And let that think for a second. There it goes. Oh, no worries. Cheers. Really appreciate the kind words. Apply that data transfer. And then we're going to add the armature. Choose the rig. Long time no see, for sure. Ah, that's awesome, dude. Armature, let's see how it deforms now. Just going to save that. And boom. Transfer looked pretty successful. That's awesome. Liking the fact that it doesn't look like shit out of the box with that transfer of weights. You can see the belt's working like a charm. There's a few little bits of bobs that need a bit of cleaning up, but I suspect that if I just add a, let's see if this works, a slight smoothing to the weights. Let's just go to weight paint. Go to weights, smooth, all groups. Ah, fuck. Weights, smooth, all groups. And let that think for a second. And just give it, I don't know, 2 iterations. Let's see if it fixes it. How did I do the vid for Insta? What do you mean? As in just like the edit, or something else? Or are you talking about the black and white? Because in that case, it's just a filter on Instagram. So that's looking good. Now it looks a lot better. The weights look a lot smoother now, so you can see the weights are smoothed out quite a bit. That should be fine. I can save that now. Yeah. I use vertex interpolation because I find it to be more reliable, but that transfers the vertex groups really well. So I like that. I like the vertex interpolation more. But if we go now to run 06 again, it should have saved everything out. And that belt's working like a charm now. Super cool. I am stoked that this is working. Again, slight changes to the hands and arms in the future once I start to refine this. Obviously, her butt's showing there. I need to add a mask to that, but it's working really well. This is why you basically use references. This is why you use library overrides and proxies and stuff like that. So you can actually make the changes and it will populate to every scene. So this is working really well. And the library overrides are so much more stable in 3.0 than in 3.9. When I was using this, when I was trying to use library overrides in 3.9, it would crash every time. with this rig. I don't know why, it just would. But now working so much better. So thank God for that. And I'm very happy that they are working now because I definitely prefer the library overrides to proxies. All right, cool. Next experiment to do is I need to figure out whether or not the face animation that I've made in my previous scenes will work with this face setup. So the controls for the face are all exactly the same. They should transfer. The question is how does the new face setup deform with the new rig, given the animation that already exists in the scene. So very similarly, I'm just going to open up a scene that has some facial expression. So I'm not sure which one would have the best one. Let's think. I think Eevee reaction should be okay. Let's have a look and see what this one's like. Yeah, this one should be fine. I think I'll do this. I think I'll do this one. So there's her facial expression there. Hello, how you doing? Oh, yeah. I did OBS for the recording, and then for the edit, I used Premiere just for a quick edit. Because I did it last minute at midnight last night, and I was like, yeah, all right, let's give it a go. So there's the old face. All right, and the old rig. So I'm gonna do the same thing again. I'm gonna hide everything. I'm gonna call this animation. Let's open up the dope sheet again. And go to the action editor. I'm going to call this Eevee Anim 01. And you can see the difference. The actual rig is quite similar in setup. It's just more refined and simpler. I don't know why. Yeah. I can do a breakdown all day, but yeah, that's the underlying rig. There's the old rig. Let's hide this. Let's make a new collection. Eevee new. Reset the view. That's all good. And let's go ahead and append or link EV42. So EV42 is there. Again, we're going to go with EV master, link that in. And again, object, library override. So there we go. That should be working now. All good. There it is there. Grab the animation. So Eevee anim 01. It looks pretty good. Now the reason why her eyes look so much better. Wow. The main reason why that's not working is because mouth close is not a library overrideable block. All right, let's go back. Go back to my rig. And for some reason, in the special properties of that jaw, I need to go into my properties here and go to settings and make sure it's library overrideable. Push OK, save the file. And if I go to my scene again, it should override that animation and allow me to edit that value. So let's just turn that off. Shit, that looks so good. Her face looks so good there. I'm so happy with that. That is so cool. The expression is so much better. Just that there. Wow. That's so cool. Now, the reason why the hands aren't moving is simply a matter of turning on the FKIK. So, turn that off, turn it off. Save that. And that is so cool. Now for her arms, let's just get that fixed. I can easily just fix that with a little bit of a corrective shape, tune shapes. But overall, really, really happy with that. Yeah, walk cycles. I'm trying to figure out where would the best tutorial be for that, but I'm not sure. That is so cool. Love it. I'm so happy that this works. The only thing that's missed going on here, I'm not sure what this is. What's this one? Head. EV head. Something here. Not sure what vertice that is, but I'm sure there's a vertice that needs to be weight painted. But overall, really cool. Love it. I've got 5 minutes to go for the day. Let's see how it looks when it's rendered. Oh man, she looks so good. I'm so happy with that. A few changes to her arms, should be good to go. Yeah, it's inside the mouth for sure. I think I know what part of the mouth it is too. It's a similar problem to let's go to recent. Let's go to EV reaction. Let's go to my rig. Let's tilt her head forward or body forward. And it's clearly, yeah, I know what's going on. It's basically just because I disabled the jaw weighting, this must have been 100% on the back there. Yeah, very happy, very happy, very happy indeed. I'll have to fix up the girls' rig now, but I'm stoked that it's working. So the part that I need to just add to this weighting, let's just go into here. Click on the joint that I want to weight to that thing. Weight paint. Let's give it a weight of 100. That one. Come on, you can do it. Doesn't like that one. All right, let's just go here and weight it ourselves, and that would be cheek 02, I think. That should do the trick. And that's fixed. So this is that back and forth. This is why, yeah. This is why, by the way, you use library overrides, is that when you come across these problems, when you fix them, they'll be populated across the entire setup, your entire scene setup at least. So back to this one to make sure that's working. And love it. All right, cool. Some reason it doesn't like it when you move the armature, then try to fix it. Is this for your rig or for mine? But overall, I'm very happy with the result. Even the hands look so much better. Holy shit, I didn't even think about the hands because I changed the hands a lot, but they look so much nicer. Ah, love it. All right, cool. Let's try one more scene. And there's one thing I will need to turn off as well, curves and guides turn that off as a render preview. But yeah. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So cool. All right, cool. Very happy with that. One more test scene, and it will be one of the most recent scenes that I've worked on. So, looking for opportunity. I think this might be the one. Turn and shoot. No, not that one. It would be inspects entrance. Let's go for this one. Very last minute one. So this is what made me want to change my scene, is when I was animating her face, it wasn't just didn't feel right when I animated her face. And I've been editing this animation as well. So let's go ahead and change out her rig. So let's put everything into an old collection. Rigs old. Let's make sure this has got a name. Let's see. Graph editor. Where's my dope sheet? Where's my dope sheet? There we are. Action editor. EV bar anim. All right, cool. Save that. And yeah, let's move everything into there. So just chuck in, select hierarchy, chuck it in there. Geo can go in there, baby in there. I think that should do the job. Amateur in there. All right, cool. Let's turn that off for now. What are these? Yeah, geo body can go in there as well. Cool. Let's bring in the new model. So one more try. Import, link, EV master, link. Let's reset the location of that with no keyframes. So she's over here now. And let's grab her and make an override. Let's put her into a new collection. Rig new. Object library override. Let's go to object relations library override. Thank you. And let's go ahead and add that bar anim. In this case, her definitely needs some work on her face and her hands. They're a bit fucked. But that's easy to fix. At least the overall animation is working okay. But yeah, definitely all right. The big thing I've noticed is that her eyes are huge. Why are her eyes so large? They got scale on them. They can go a bit. They can definitely do with being a lot smaller. But yeah, super cool. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up. Thank you for watching. It's been really fun, and also just very encouraging for myself, because I actually didn't know this was gonna work. I did not know this was gonna work. I'm happy that it did. So I will catch you guys hopefully on Monday for my next stream, and a lot will be up and running by then, hopefully. But yeah, I'm very happy with what we did today. So thank you for watching. Thank you again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers. Thank you very much.